Hi there everyone and welcome to Mirror World News. Today we're going to be covering Publishing 101. Don't go away. Hi there everybody. Today we're going to jump right into it with Publishing 101. Here with me I have Justine Dowsett from Mirror World Publishing, and she's going to help us go through what to do with publishing. What are your options, what options you should choose, and where you go with it. So hello there, Justine.
Hello.
Now, first of all, when we get started, the very first question is, once a writer finishes their manuscript, they've made it the best they can do it, they've had it edited, it's amazing, what are their options?
Well, it depends what they really want to do with that manuscript. Do they want to sell the book? Are they happy they wrote it and they just want copies to have for themselves, friends and family? But essentially, you can either find an agent, find a publishing house, find a vanity press or a hybrid publisher, or you can self-publish.
Okay, so I understood everything in there, but there's some people out there that are going to say this too. What is a vanity or a hybrid publisher?
Okay, well, a vanity press is a press that specifically their clients are the authors. So they sell publishing services. So it's the closest you can get to self-publishing, but with still having that support. Now, that being said, vanity presses do charge their authors to publish. So the business for them is the publishing service, and they are not selective. So it's not like you're going through a process of application. You simply are buying the right to publish your book. So that doesn't always work for everybody, and there are a lot of vanity presses out there that are scams, so you do need to be aware of that. A hybrid press, however, is kind of a blend between that model and your traditional publishing house. So they can be a bit more selective. They might make you pay for certain services, but they're also going to offer you a bit more support, like a traditional publishing house would. So you have to do your research on those because they're all different depending on how they work and how they've decided to build their publishing model.
Right, exactly. And that goes with anything, and anything that you're ever sending scripts out or whatever, always do research on any publishing house or vanity publishing or hybrid publisher. Any publishing that you're wanting to do, research that business first, because not only it'll let you know if you're a good match for that business, it'll let you know if they're a scam or not.
Right, and it's also if that's the route that you want to go. So you need to know if the way that they work is the way that you're looking for something that works that way.
Exactly, yeah. Now, why would someone want to get an agent rather than just submit directly to the publisher themselves?
Yeah, well, an agent is mostly needed in a situation where you're going after the big publishing houses. So you're looking to get into one of the big five or one of the names that are really recognized. An agent's going to be able to take your book farther than you can on your own. They act like an insurance broker, but a book broker, I guess. So they're going to look on your behalf for a publishing house and try to make that deal for you because they get their cut of the proceeds when that deal is made. So that's basically what an agent would do. If you're just looking to find a smaller publishing house or that sort of thing, then you can do that on your own. Also, an agent, some doors will not be open to you individually. If you're just going after submitting to a publishing house, some larger publishing houses don't accept unagented submissions, is what they call them. In that case, you do require an agent. If a publishing house that's bigger does accept your submission without an agent, sometimes the chances of you getting picked up are slimmer.
Right. And with anything to do whenever you have an agent of any kind, the agents, their entire business is getting to know what publishing company does what. So it saves you the legwork of having to research each individual publisher. You just find the right agent for you, and then they know where to send it.
Right.
Yeah. Now, what are the benefits of going with a publisher? Actually asking someone else to take the book and publish it for you?
Yeah, so namely, it's that support. So you're going to have that team of professionals working behind your book. That does take a lot of the pressure off and a lot of the work away from you. And you also know it's going to be done right because it's going to be done professionally. It also includes marketing, it'll include cover design, it'll include editing. So all of those things, you don't have to worry about doing them, whereas a self-publisher kind of has to do everything. So it's essentially having that professional team, and in the end, it's going to get your book more exposure. So the larger a publishing house, the larger market they might have access to, the bigger budget they're going to have, and also they can get your books on the shelves in various stores and maybe in a place of prominence if you're more than just a first-time author or it's a bigger, stronger publishing house.
Yeah, one of the big things I've always heard about publishing houses is distribution.
Yeah.
Is the bigger the publishing house, the bigger distribution they have, the more books you're able to sell, the more people know your name name, and if more people know your name, it's more likely you'll get published again, correct?
Yeah. Something else to keep in mind is that even with a publishing house, even a larger one, you're going to be expected to do some of that marketing on your own. You want to market your own brand and your own book and do as much legwork as you can. That doesn't mean that you're going to have as a full-time job like you might if you're self-publishing, but you still want to put in that effort to get yourself out there.
Right, yeah. Now, we've talked about self-publishing, kind of touched on it here and there, but what are some reasons why someone might choose self-publishing over traditional publishing houses?
Yeah, the biggest reason, especially for me when I started my career, I was self-publishing to begin with. The biggest reason is control, creative control, but also financial control and control over every aspect of the project. So you decide where that book gets released, where the copies are sold, you decide what the cover looks like, how the editing's done, and you can choose to do all that work yourself, but that is a big learning curve. You do have to figure out how to do all of it yourself, or you can outsource various pieces of it, but you do have to keep in mind that you're paying for those services if you're outsourcing it to a person or a company to do for you. Ultimately, self-publishing is a business, so you're an entrepreneur. So that it doesn't have to be a full-time job again, but you are going to be putting all the work in yourself for finding the people to do that work for you, and that's a lot of man hours. It's a lot of time and a lot of effort. And the thing that you can get bogged down with is if you get too involved with having to promote and market your own books and do all that other work, then maybe you'll have less time for writing the next one.
Yeah. And also, it all comes out of your own pocket.
That's true too.
There's definitely advantages to both sides, and there's definitely advantages to vanity and hybrid publishers. There are many different options out there for publishers, so if you are an aspiring writer, you haven't been published in anything yet, don't give up hope. There's tons of options out there for you. Just do your research.
Yeah, do your research. And I mean, if you want one of the particular options, so let's say you want an agent and you try to get an agent and that doesn't work for you, try the smaller publishers. Do that next. And if that doesn't work for you, maybe try the other self-publishing route. So there's always going to be a fallback. And if self-publishing doesn't work for you, same thing the other direction. If self-publishing doesn't work, you're not really selling the copies that you want, try to find a publisher. That book's already got a track record, maybe some of the publishers will pick it up.
Never, ever give up. Always keep trying. Well, thank you so much, Justine, for helping us here with Publishing 101. You're going to be doing a talk on this very shortly in our area, correct?
Yes, October 12th through the Arts Council Windsor region. It's going to be $10 for members and $15 for non-members to attend, but it's a 2-hour workshop, which I'll be leading at the ArtSpeak Gallery. So if that's something you're interested in attending, tickets are still available, so you can look that up at acwr.net.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I'll definitely make sure to be there myself. And everybody else, if you want to attend to it, if you're in the Windsor region when this comes on, it's October the 12th.
October 12th, yeah.
Definitely make sure to check it out. There'll also be links down below as to where to check it out and everything else like that. But thank you so much for helping us all out today. And for everybody out there, keep writing.